Good morning, Temple of Light family.
Good morning, Cassandra.
It is such a joy to welcome you all to our beautiful sanctuary and to our hearts. It's an awesome Sunday morning, and welcome to all of you joining us online. It's a joy to have you. And so we are going to begin with our affirmative prayer. So let's just pull our consciousness. As we take a deep breath, to just settle into this space and to go within to that secret place of the Most High, where we know that God is, where God lives and moves and has its being, expressing so perfectly and joyfully in and through and as each and every one of us. We truly are grateful to gather together in this community, to open our consciousness to experience that which will lift us up to a higher place of spiritual growth and unfoldment. So we're grateful for this experience. We're grateful for the opportunity to gather freely and joyfully. We're grateful for the words of God spoken through our speaker this morning, through our music, through that elevated consciousness that just vibrates in this space, and that's giving me the goosebumps that I'm feeling right now, that sense of joy, thanksgiving, and gratitude, because God is here. And so with that sense of thanksgiving and joy, I now release these words to that law which acts upon them and just elevates each of us to that space of perfect expression. I truly am grateful that all this is so now, and so it is. And now we have an affirmation of divine love, and I'm inviting you for us to say it together. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for this church now. Divine love is now victorious, and so it is. And this morning, our praise song is a little bit different. We're going to have Carol doing a solo, and then we're going to come in on the chorus. And you will recognize the chorus when you see it, right? Carol.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it solo, okay? Think of yourself as the backup singers.
People get ready, there's a train a-coming. Don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith for the hopeless sinner who would hurt all mankind just to save his own. Have pity on those whose chances grow thinner, for there's no hiding place from the Father of creation. One Lord, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. One Lord, one heart, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. One Lord, let's get together and feel alright.
Clap on yourself.
Wow. Now we're going to do the prayer of our center. May I ask you to stand for us to do that? Together. The Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living, is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community, from which the Christ's peace, love, and joy emanate, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is. Please sit. I know we're going to invite our children, our young adults, to join us on the podium for the blessing and the lighting of the youth candle. In the other way around. Lighting, blessing. Welcome. Mm-hmm. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who's gonna light? So Reverend Anne, assisted by Liam. Liam, going to help Auntie Reverend Anne? You can look at her to make sure that she do it right, okay?
Tell me what to say.
You're not telling me what to say?
All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I light this candle on behalf of all youths of the world. Let us behold the Christ in them.
And so it is, and we do the blessing together. We love you. We appreciate you. We salute the Christ in you. We see you as shining lights unto your world. God is blessing you now. And so it is. And we're going to sing our mission song. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one with spirit on a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who guys. And after Sunday school, Reverend Ann?
No, that's staying.
Oh, saying in Brig Church. Today is Practitioner Sunday. Friends, just a few brief reminders. This Tuesday, and every Tuesday, we have our spiritual mind healing service. And we're inviting you to join Tamu Davidson this Tuesday at 6 on Zoom and YouTube. We ask you to come and explore the ideas behind the power of forgiveness, release, and letting go, and letting God. And then this Wednesday is our first Wednesday in the month, and it will be our labyrinth walk. And so it's Wednesday at 5:30. And so I understand that World Labyrinth Day is May 4th. And so this is like a precursor to that event. Walking as one in peace, and that's going to be the theme. So share this consciousness with the Peace Ministry and invite a friend to come and walk the labyrinth. It's a really meditative experience. Now, we're having an exciting event coming up, and I'm going to ask Reverend Michelle to come and share a little bit about it.
Grand Rising. On May the 11th, I'll be doing a one-day intensive workshop on spiritual mind treatment. So let me get you in the mood. Step number 1, recognition. We're going to have the opportunity to recognize spirit in the flora, in the grass, in the sky. We'll be outside for recognition. Step number 2, unification. This is where you're going to have an opportunity to pour onto paper your I am poem, because everything that we say after the I am is what we are. And then we have 3 other steps, but I'm not going to give that away. You have to be there to experience it. So what I want to remind you of is this will be an opportunity, you all, to get out of our heads and to get into our hearts. And this is an opportunity where our humanity meets our spiritual essence. So join me May 11th from 10 to 4. We're going to be in the book room, and it's going to be a gloriously empowering experience. See you then.
You know, I can attest to the power of prayer. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. So, how many of you here have legal questions? Or there are things that you want to know? Yeah, lots of stuff. And just this past couple of days, a friend of mine passed. And prior to that, I was part of hearing about someone who passed, and the family has a whole lot of clearing out, cleaning out, and unfinished business that's left behind for them to clear out. So whether it's real estate, afterlife issues, there's going to be an exciting experience right here. If you have the questions, we have the answers. And this is May 4th and 18th between 11 and 1. And we will look at all of those legal matters. So save the dates and bring your friends, bring your family. And guess what? It is free, as in F-R-E-E. And we really would like to invite other members of our community. So anybody, anywhere, just tell them to come. If they have a question, we have the answers. Another save the date is, I don't think it's here, but just for me to make sure that you have it, it's the University Singers. Not to be missed. We're going to have a little toops this morning with Hanif as our musical item. So this is the 8th of June, right, at 4. It's an early show, so you can come and get home early. And it's always goosebumpified, if you know what I mean. And walk with tissue, but save the date. It's going to be an awesome event. Now, folks, we are asking, if you are feeling like talking to one of our members on Sunday, and she's just so moved that she's ready and willing to serve. Are you? And if you're willing to serve specifically as an usher, as those wonderful faces that greet you all as you're coming in on a Sunday morning, please speak with practitioner Jennifer Livingston, who is in the vestibule, Right? She just came and acknowledged herself. Acknowledge herself? You get that? Identified herself. So speak to Jen after the service and just, you know, it's not every Sunday. We create a roster and you serve on specific Sundays. Now, this morning, right after the service, we're going to have our practitioner forum. Because you know, we usually announce that a practitioner is available to pray with you after the service. And you can call through on this number, 876-289-0907. But this morning, we're going to have our practitioners live and direct in the sanctuary. We're going to have one in the prayer room and one in the book room, available to do spiritual mind healing treatment with you, or just to talk about the what, the who, the where, the why of the work that we do. Ask questions, we'll be here to answer those questions for you. So stay back, you know, look for those of us wearing this beautiful satin purple. Sorry, I don't want to bring up the purple and white thing, but you know what I mean. But just join us. Stay back, have a cup of something, and just ask. I have an image of trying to knock a hammer in, a nail in with an egg lifter. Where many of us are doing very, very well. But can you imagine very well being better? So coming to a practitioner doesn't mean that there's something wrong. But the practitioner work helps to hone and build and strengthen consciousness. So that, you know, it's not like when something happens, you pray. As Reverend Elma would say one time, you mean, is that it come to? Or, you know, her client said that, we have to pray. And she said, Lord, is that it come to? We are all prayed up. So join us after service for, you know, just engagement with our practitioner core. And so grief support and counseling is always available. They're always available, so call our office at 927-6145. And friends, we open our hearts to receive the largesse of your generosity. So we thank you for this generosity and for helping us to be that powerful beacon of light in the world. So if you wish to support us in any way, our music ministry or our tech or just the operations of our center, you can visit our donate page at donate.templeoflightcsl.org. And it has all of our banking details. And we, of course, thank you for your support and in helping to create a world that works for everyone. I think that's it for our announcements. Yeah. And so we are now going to go on. There's a reading that Vance asked me to share this morning, and it's from the Science of Mind magazine. And this month's readings are by Reverend Dr. Christian Sorensen, one of my favorite spiritual luminaries. And there are two quotes. The title of the reading is The Giant of Gentle. And the first is from Leo Buscaglia, and it says, "Only the weak are cruel. Gentleness can only be expected from the strong." And of course, Ernest Holmes, our founder, states, "We should think of ourselves as being surrounded by a perfect life and poised in an eternal calm." So it says, if we consider the giant of gentle, giant is not a person, like Jack and the Beanstalk, but a description of an extremely large expression. Gentleness is then like a blanket that calms all situations, no matter the size, from the gentle touch of a mom to her child, to a kindness that transforms a nation. When we come from a clear and tranquil position, our prevalent sense of connectivity creates a sense of oneness. There is an undeniable power that lives in that sense of oneness. When you are gentle with yourself, you entice a more powerful expression of your true self into the world. You are braver, bolder, more confident than who you truly are. No longer needing to be right and proving your perspective. Instead, you come from a place of caring and compassion, bringing the transformational heart of clarity into your relationships and all you touch. In your gentle openness, you exist as an expression of love, an influencer of the possible greater yet to be. Whether during a good time or a rough one, you express the reminder that all is sacred and God is present. And there's an affirmation which I'd love you to share with us. I'll read it once and we can do it together. I breathe the gentleness of the divine into all I do, think, and touch. I'll say it once more. I breathe a gentleness of the divine into all I do, think, and touch. Together. I breathe a gentleness of the divine into all I do, think, and touch. And so it is. And now we do our chant. Gentle peace.
There is peace in my soul. In this peace I am whole. It is God here in me. This is my reality. Gentleness is not weak. It allows the still small voice to speak through me when I am so gentle. Peace is how I grow. There is peace in my soul. In this peace I am whole. It is God here in me. This is my reality. Gentleness is not weak. It allows the still small voice to speak. Praises be. This is so gentle. Peace is how I grow.
And with the strains of this music, inspired by Steve, we'll go into a few moments of silence. I invite you to join me in an affirmative prayer of peace. We know together that God is all there is. God is a peace that passeth all understanding. We know that this peace is that which envelops us now, instills us with harmony and that perfect sense of balance in the knowing that the divine presence fills every cell and fiber of our being. And it opens up to the still small voice that whispers that I am, and all is well. And so it is. Let's sing together, God is peace. God is peace, that peace surrounds me. In that peace I safely dwell. 'Tis above, beneath, within me. Peace is mine, and all is well. God is peace, your peace. God is peace, sweet peace. Peace is mine, mine, and all is well. We acknowledge that there is God, and God is love, and we are created out of the love of God. And so we declare and know that love is the way of our heart, and it is the heart of our way. It guides every step we take, every word we speak, every thought we think. We are grounded in love, surrounded by love, and we allow love to pour itself in through and as us in every moment, in every circumstance. And we know that love heals, love inspires, love uplifts. And we declare, as we embrace love, that our lives transform. We know this is true. We accept it as so, and so it is. God is love, that love surrounds me. In that love I safely dwell. It is above, beneath, within me. Love is mine, and all is well. God is love, your love. God is love, sweet love. That love is mine, mine, and all is well. And in the vibration of love, there is life. We recognize that God is life, that life is all there is. That life is my life now. That life is the life of each one that is here. We experience this presence, this life, as one. And we walk this path knowing that the animation of life takes us through every circumstance. It is that which is our vocation, our inspiration, our recreation. And so we express this life fully, joyfully, powerfully, knowing that we are one with the eternal and divine presence and power of God. And in this knowing, my heart is full and I'm grateful. And I just let it be so now. And so it is. God is life, that life surrounds me. In that life I safely dwell. Is above, beneath, within me. Life is mine, and all is well. God is life, pure love. God is life, sweet life. Life is mine, and all is well. And if we embrace the idea that peace, life, and love are all that there is, and we declare that it is our way now. So let us sing it together in this, another one of Steve's powerful pieces of music. Let this be my way. Oh, I hear we're going to hear Steve singing it first. So we have a track. We want to listen to Steve, and then we are going to join in. Thanks for that, Vance.
Oh, Father, let me greet you and everyone that I meet as I go from day to day. Let this be my way. No matter the circumstance, let me seize upon every chance to find a kind word to say. Let this be my way.
Let me greet you and everyone that I meet as I go from day to day. Let this be my way. No, Father,
Let me greet you and everyone that I meet
start over, start over.
as
As I go from day to day, let this be my way. No matter the circumstance, let me seize upon every chance to find a kind word to say. Let this be my way. Oh, Father, let me greet you and everyone that I meet as I go from day to day. Let this be my way. No matter what circumstance, let me seize upon every chance to find a kind word to say. Let this be my way. Oh, thanks, friends. Please be seated. Boy, you know, I just love the technology. It brings people from far places right into our hearts, into our space. Isn't that awesome? Let us just give Steve a round of applause. So you see, when you're called to serve, it's your time, it's your talent, and it's your treasure. And the commitment. Oh, Steve, you're wonderful. Anyway, more goosebumps. Friends, our speaker this morning is a staunch practitioner of the science of mind. Vance is one of those who he has deepened his understanding of this teaching, and he lives it. And so I know that he's going to come and bring some awesome, powerful message this morning. So put your hands together and welcome practitioner Vance Gardiner.
Thanks, Sandy. What if we recognize that love is holy and hate obscene? We can give life to this beautiful dream. 'Cause peace and love ain't so far if we nurse our wounds before they scar. Nurse our wounds before they scar. Grand Rising Temple of Light, whether you are here in the sanctuary, online, welcome to our hearts. I greet you with a slight adaptation of lyrics sung by Alicia Keys and co-written by Billy Walsh and Carla Montagues. Thanks to Practice Sandra for guiding the service. from the inspirational reading with that spirit of gentleness. Gentle cosmicness. So vast that it cannot be defined in any dictionary. Right? It is the self-knowingness and spirit giving itself as a love which knows no other and beholds the divinity in everyone and all creation. It is also what our founder, Ernest Holmes, calls divine forgiveness. That finally everyone comes into harmony with themselves, with others, and with God. The gentleness that is loving and supportive, a healing presence wherever it shows up. It is the one life, which is God. It is our life. So let us awake and allow a greater expression of God as our lives and celebrate the wonder of it all. For as Reverend Michelle told us last week, when we give ourselves, we must be open and receptive to accept the blessings that we receive. I was listening. I must admit, I didn't see it that way. But it's not cosmic to refuse to accept gifts like compliments and expressions of appreciation when we give of ourselves. And Denise reminded me of this on Tuesday. So, one love, one heart. Let us get together and feel all right, as we say in Jamaica. But in order to better explain this concept, I call upon Jesus for assistance. A lawyer asks the master teacher, how can he attain eternal life? A life that is fulfilling, worthwhile, and joy everlasting. Jesus, the way shower, asks, what does the law of Moses say? And he replied, love the Lord with all thy heart, and love thy neighbor as thyself. He then asks Jesus, who is my neighbor? And Jesus told the parable of the Good Samaritan that Reverend Michael spoke about in his talks a couple of weeks ago. We all know the parable that is found in Luke chapter 10, verses 25 to 37. And it illustrates gentle cosmicness, the love that fulfills the law quoted by the lawyer to Jesus and fulfills the very law of life. The parable, like all parables, is about us and our response to states of consciousness in our inner life. It tells of our conscious response on two levels. The first and most obvious to anyone who requires, the first and most obvious is to anyone who requires help, and that is on the external level. And the inner response, or we respond when the divine urge in us is set upon us by internal robbers like ignorance, egocentricness, and negative thought patterns. The priest and the Levite represents when we use religious or legal excuses like thoughts and prayers, or wondering what brought about the condition, just by being indifferent. Instead, we walk on the other side when we are indifferent. As Jesus said, we walk on the other side. The only question that we should ask is, what would love have me do in this situation? That is gentle cosmicness. The oneness which is non-judgmental, forgiving, compassionate, and supportive. It is a gentle expression of transcendental love. The giant that is too big to fail. It is the Christ within us. So, Temple of Light, are we gonna walk on the other side? Or are we gonna say yes to the call for love? I don't want to hear no answer. So, is there a place for the seemingly hopeless sinners who have hurt all mankind for the sake of their own false perceptions and belief? What about the seemingly big bad wolf threatening to blow the whole house down? Lyanda Lynn Harput, I hope I pronounced her name correctly, shares this story of Francis of Assisi in her book, Rooted. There was a ferocious wolf that had slaughtered livestock, attacked shepherds, and even killed the guards that were sent to slay her, and was causing great havoc from the perspective of the townspeople. St. Francis was called by the mayor to intervene. Now, St. Francis was a person who lived in close contact with the indwelling God. So he became a revealer of truth. Right? He listened to the wolf's side of the story. He listened to the wolf's side of the story. Leander put it this way: he stood in the wolf's presence, respected the animal's wildness, apprehended her story, and he called her sister. St. Francis then shared what he learned with the townspeople. He shared that the wolf had been injured and left by her pack, and that she was hungry. When she was attacked, she acted in self-defense. With this understanding, the townspeople were able to help the wolf find food, and they coexisted without fear. So sometimes we say, I don't like that person. Maybe we need to get to know them better and have conversations that really matter. And just affirm, Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Love our light and turn up in that consciousness. So how do we take it to the streets? How do we deal with the defining issues of our time, issues of peace, respect for the lives of civilians and life generally, and each other, the movement of people across these political and man-made borders, the stewardship of our planet, and justice among others? How do we be an ally, advocate, or activist of love? I believe people are here to show us a way. Reverend John always gives an assignments during his encouragements. So I'm recommending that we read and familiarize ourselves with our global vision, which can be found on csl.org under the heading Who We Are. It is a drop-down option. I also recommend reading or getting information on YouTube about these two books, See No Stranger, a memoir and manifesto of revolutionary love by Valerie Kaur, and The Four Pivots, Reimagining Social Justice, Reimagining Ourselves by Dr. Sean Gainwright. Now, our global art vision that Reverend Michelle read last week says in part, and I want us to read this together, we vision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life, a world where this kinship with all life prospers and connects through guidance of spiritual wisdom and experience. One love, one heart. We see no strangers. Everyone is family and everything is holy. If this is our manifesto of revelatory love, the four pivots answers these questions by telling us not what is to be done, which is the wrong question. It answering by showing what we need to become, a gentle, healing presence. That's how we show up as love, peace, light, to show up as God as we are guided. Sean Gainwright writes that we need a fundamental shift in our values, a pivot in how we think, connect, act, and work. A pivot, he says, a small change in a direction that takes us from where we are to where we want to be. It brings together what we know with how we feel and where we want to be. He recommends 4 pivots that need to be made individually and in our communities to facilitate a radical healing in our world. The first pivot is to shift our awareness, which he terms from lens to mirror. Instead of seeing what is happening in our world as something external to us, we must view it as a mirror of ourselves. Through self-reflection and exploration, we come to understand how we contribute to the world as it is and how we can contribute to the world we desire. The second is our connection from transactional to transformative relationships. A transactional relationship is one where each person does things for the other, expecting to get something in return. Transformative relationships cultivate deeper human connection through vulnerability, empathy, and listening, and it fosters mutual growth. The third is from problem fixing to possibility creating. From focusing on what appears to be the challenge to shift to, I wonder, what if? Let's do it. Using our imagination and listening to our intuition. The fourth and my personal challenge is from hustle to flow. From what Dr. Sean calls being addicted to frenzy, and it's not me alone. Always busy, always in the rush, having something to get done, don't it? We need to stop. We need to be still and know, right? Take a rest when needed and just let go and let God. And always remember, it is not I, but the Father within. He doeth the work. So be gentle with ourselves, each other, and all creation. That is grace. That is our way. Despite what appears to be happening around us, wars, rumors of war, and all manners of distress, it is still the Father's world. And no doubt the universe is unfolding as it must. So if Puss and Dog can live together, surely we can love each other and all of creation. So be at peace. Celebrate our wins. It is up to us. We are gardeners in this garden of life. We have the spade of science of mind and spirit, the tools of spiritual practices in our hands. We cannot let love for our fellow man die. So Mother, Father, God, there is a healing going on. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. As they say in Jamaica, everything airy. Namaste.
I told you so. Thank you for explaining this thing of gentle cosmicness. It's about having an experience of transcendental love. Are we going to walk on the other side, or are we going to listen to the wolf side of the story? That was powerful, don't? If you can think of what wolf are you going to reach out to this week and listen to? I wrote down, make me an instrument of thy peace. How do I open myself to be that instrument of peace? How do we take it to the streets? Because you can be peaceful at home watching Netflix. And yes, you can get on with your people at home. But how do we deal with the neighbor whose dog is coming? That's another conversation. And my huge East Indian mango tree that I don't get one off of it yet, because the owners come for the mangoes. So I have to deal with that. Becoming a gentle healing presence. And I love the idea of pivoting, because it's about choice, it's about personal volition. I can do it. If you say to yourself that whatever it is that needs to be done, I can do it. To shift awareness from out there, something happening to me, to looking at myself as I'm a mirror of my circumstances. From the transactional, what I can get for this, to the transformational. From problem to possibility. And I love the last one, from frenzy and hustle to flow. And we're not talking... So friends, it's powerful. Let us acknowledge Vance again for the awesome message he brought. And to the icing on the cake, welcome. Join me. Let's welcome Hanif with his powerful voice.
Instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Oh, divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in a giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying that we are born.
Wow. I'd say we need to get a box of tissue, one over there, one here, one there, and one up here. Thank you so much, Hanif. You know, God blesses each of us with many gifts, and we need to share them, don't? Okay, so now I'm going to invite you to stand for us to do our prayer of Jamaica. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life which set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established. And so it is. And I invite you now to take your loving gift. We're going to do our love offering, found on the envelope and, of course, on the screen. Together. Lovingly I give, joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase, and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. So be it. Thank you, Father, and so it is. And friends, there are 2 boxes, one on either side of the podium, so during the next hymn, we invite you to come and just drop your offering.
I look at you and see a God potential there.
know that universal love has truly manifested and surrounded us, each of us. And as we close this morning, I'd just like to acknowledge some special acknowledgements to Sean for the floral arrangements this morning and our floral angels who assisted. We thank you all so much for, just being a part of creating the beauty for this wonderful space. We give thanks for our tech team who has made our streaming and our sound and all of that possible. Thank you, guys. How could we not give thanks for the music? Thank you, Hanif, Dale, Uncle Stevie, wherever in the world you are right now. We thank you with all our hearts. Thank you very much for ushers. I think Jen, I don't know if anybody else is working with you this morning. Remember, to check up with Jen afterwards if you want to assist in that way. And also our hospitality team who will quench your thirst, give you a little bite and, allow us to really enjoy our time together after our service. Friends, remember as we go on our website to hit like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we, it's something about growing our numbers. Okay? I still have to understand it. So friends, have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'm now going to turn it over to a practitioner, Vance, to close us off.
First-time visitors.
Oh, I forgot. Thank you, Vance. Anyone visiting with us for the first time this morning, whether here in the sanctuary or online? Anybody new? Oh, it's all family. Oh, anybody joining us for the first time? Just online, just acknowledge your presence and we will reach out to you. Thank you all so much for being here, Reverend Vance.
So we give thanks. We give thanks for everyone who have allowed themselves to be a giver this morning. And we give thanks for the gifts of time, gifts of talent, gifts of treasure that have poured into the temple this morning. We know that it is God giving of itself within these gifts. And these gifts go towards awakening mankind to its spiritual magnificence and manifesting a world that truly works for all. So we know that with love in our hearts, as we share this love, we awaken everyone we meet to that love inside of them. And we know that as everyone awakens to who they are, the peace of God, which is in the hearts of everyone, is made manifest in our world and in our affairs. And we know that this love guides us to express it to everyone who needs it. We'll never walk on the other side. So in this consciousness, we know it's all God. It's all good. And as we leave in this awareness. And I just release these words to that law that makes it so. And
so it is. And we will do our peace song, love song. Love, yeah, we'll sing love today.
Yes, there is love on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is love on earth, a love that was meant to be with God as our power.
Guys, remember our practitioners gathering, and we have some wonderful brochures for you and some beautiful bookmarks. So